Alrighty, guys. This is Tanya Smith of TanyaSmithOnline.com. It looks like we are live. And tonight I want to talk to you about an awesome topic. It's a topic around social media branding. And we're going to share with you something that I think you'll find useful if you're struggling with the idea of who am I online, right? This whole concept of really trying to differentiate yourself and to find your unique value so that you can use that to promote yourself and to stand out in a very crowded marketplace when it comes to the online space. So we're going to talk about that. And it really, a lot of this stuff is kind of old school, meaning some of the concepts I'm going to teach you tonight are really concepts that I taught back in 2007 and 2008 when I was talking to people who were in careers in corporate America that were looking to promote themselves, to get promoted in their positions. So a lot of what we'll cover tonight will really mirror that, but it's specific to the social media marketing and online marketing space. So I hope you'll find it enjoyable. This is the first of our series. I introduced this series last Monday with a video where we talked about the SPICE formula. So if you haven't had a chance to understand what SPICE is or to learn more about that, then make sure you go back and watch the video. It's in my video library on Facebook, but it's also on our blog at TanyaSmithOnline.com/091 because it's episode 91. So one of the things I'm going to do really quickly here is do a double check and see if I have anyone waving and saying hello. As you're checking in, please just type in the city where you're from so that I can acknowledge you and say hello. I know I have folks here that are joining from our Snack Size Content Creators group, my favorite group on Facebook. And we also have people that are joining us that may have never seen anything about me before. So if you are looking to learn more about Tanya Smith Online, feel free to visit us on Facebook. No matter where you're watching, you'll find a lot of our video libraries. Actually, we have different little libraries that are focused on specific topics that will be helpful to you. There is my friend Donna from Charlotte, North Carolina. Hi, Donna. It's good to see you, girl. And then I know there's other people that are going to be joining in. So as you come in, if you're coming in live and not watching the replay, or even if you're watching the replay, tell me where you're from. Awesomeness, awesome. Representing, I know, girl. All right, we're going to dive into some of the content. I do like to do kind of a little bit of engagement at the very beginning because I want you to know that I really am here live, even though some of the techniques and the approach that I take to doing Facebook Live looks a little different. It may look a little pre-recorded. It's not. I'm actually here with you. So if you have questions, if there's anything that I can help you with related to our topic tonight, because sometimes I know some of those questions can get off topic, then please feel free to leave it here in the comments. Hey, Miss Johnson from Cary, North Carolina. So North Carolina is representing in the house. What's up? All right. All right. So I'm the one Texan on the call for right now. But I know we're going to have some folks that are joining in and letting us know where you're from too. So I really appreciate you being here and spending a little bit of time with me. If you've never joined us before for these trainings, please know that I do like to keep them very snack size. So we're not going to be here much longer than 20 to 30 minutes at the most, but I will deliver some jam-packed content within that short amount of time. Not to the point of overwhelm, but certainly to the point to where you have something that you can practically use and apply by the time you get off of your video call. So I do see this as a call because you and I are engaging back and forth. I'm looking and watching for your comments and definitely responding to any questions or hearts that you might share. All right, I'm getting ready to get into the content, so I'm going to go ahead and switch over in just a second to some slides. And the reason for using slides, just so you know, when I do these training series, is because I can go off topic if I'm not too careful. A lot of people refer to me as a walking Google. So there's always these different resources that pop up for me that I think I need to share with you at a given time. But I don't want to extend your time, and I want to respect the time that I've promised and committed to. So we're going to stick to the script here in just a second, and I will share my screen with you right now. So we're going to talk about part one of how to spice up your brand on social media. And what I promised you when we talked in the spice formula video last week is to talk to you about ways that you can really spice up your brand. And so the SPICE, S-P-I-C-E, does stand for something very specific. And again, if you have not watched the previous video, definitely go and find that in my video library. It's there. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to switch back and forth so that you can see me. And then you can also see the slides, so you have a little bit of a visual that will help you to take notes, okay? So I highly encourage you, if there's anything that you really find to be a light bulb moment for you, to definitely go ahead and take notes on it. And again, if you have questions or comments, if there's anything that I can help you with, please let me know. So we're talking about how to spice up your brand on social media, and it's really about how to stand out, how to become more visible, how to ensure that you are representing yourself as the professional that you want to be when it comes to social media. And one of the things that I'll share with you is this: finding your flavor is the way to start. So finding your flavor. So the flavor definition is the distinctive taste of a food or drink, an indication of the essential character of something. So these are the definitions that you'll find if you go on Google or go on Merriam-Webster dictionary. These are definitions that you'll find in flavor, but specific to what we're talking about tonight, I want you to focus on the idea that it's a distinctive taste or essential character, because that's what we're talking about, is your distinctive taste. You know, I am a huge fan of dark chocolate, okay? Dark chocolate is my favorite. It's one of my favorite snacks out there. But there are differences in perception and different tastes that people have. My kids hate dark chocolate. They love milk chocolate. So if you're on live right now, just type into the comments which one you prefer. Do you like milk chocolate or do you like dark chocolate? The thing I love about dark chocolate is that it can be mixed with a variety of other flavors like lemon, coconut, caramel. I mean, there's all kinds of different chocolates that you can actually get into. In fact, my husband brought me one back from Asia just the other week. It's chocolate with Tabasco sauce. So it takes a special type of taste bud to really get into dark chocolate and Tabasco sauce. I like it really spicy and hot. I like to eat salsa that makes my eyes cry and water and my hair sweat. So, but that's me, and that's not everyone. Everyone is not of the same mind and doesn't have the same perception of flavor, what's good flavor and what's not. So you have to think in terms of your branding when it comes to social media marketing or just your online presence in general. Not everybody is right for you, and that's okay. Those who are right for you are right for you, and vice versa. You're right for them. So you can't worry too much for things about, let's say, for example, when you have, your emails going out and you're super excited about what you're sharing, and you know that there's these great blog posts that you've written or this great event that's coming out, and then you have people that unsubscribe. If you reframe your thinking and don't think that, oh my God, I didn't share something of value after all, I hate that they didn't like it, or man, why are people leaving? Sure, you want to know why, especially if you have this just mass leaving of people from your email list. But if it's just a few here and there, guess what? It just meant they weren't right for you and you weren't right for them, and that's okay. Because what that does is it opens up space so that you can then have more room to give and to serve those people that are a good match. So really, in my mind, finding your flavor is about really kind of finely tuning and creating a perception about yourself so that you can attract the people that you really ideally want to work with, and that most want to work with you and to get value from your stuff, from your content. So just think of it that way. Alrighty. And I know there's some other folks coming in, so as you're coming in, please just let me know where you're from. Put your city that you're representing in the comment section, and be thinking of questions if there's anything I can help you with. So The tip number one, and I'm going to give you 3 tips when it comes to how to find your flavor. Tip number one is to get clear on your knowledge, your core values, and what makes you uniquely right for your fans. So we're talking about social media marketing in particular. And guess what? Those people who are social media followers can potentially turn into paying clients, right? So at this point, we're going to focus primarily on followers and fans, but with the intent that at some point they could become customers for you. So as you're getting clear on your knowledge, your core values, and what makes you unique, you got to ask yourself the question, why is being in this business important to you? Why is being in this business important to you? And the reason why that's an important question for you is because as you think about what you're sharing on social media and as you're sharing online in your blog, etc., you really have a challenge if you're sharing something that's not important to you, if you haven't examined why it's important, and if you haven't examined if you're truly passionate about it, okay? At one point in my career, especially with the coaching business, I was coaching people around their career. And I mentioned that a little bit earlier about corporate space and all of that. And I found at some point that I really did not enjoy it anymore. I didn't enjoy talking to people about resumes. I didn't enjoy talking to people about getting ready for a job interview because frankly, that wasn't the space that I lived in anymore. It was, even though I still, at this point, for those of you who may not know, I do work in a corporate role. When I'm in my space, in my business coaching space, that is fully where my gifts lie. That is fully where I'm passionate and I love and enjoy what I'm doing. And it shows through the messaging, through the marketing, through what I'm sharing with you, right? It does not show well when you hate what you were talking about. So it's so important to get clear on where your knowledge is, what you know, what you want to learn more about and stay on top of when it comes to trends. It's important for you to really think about your core values. Your strong core values need to be something that's sustainable, that's consistent, that's motivating you and driving you. It's truly personal. So as you think of core values, I think some examples might be, maybe you value family. Maybe you value a commitment to quality. Maybe you value having trust and accountability or a high level of integrity, which I hope we all value as business owners. Maybe you value excellence in customer service. For me, one of the values is time freedom. So everything that I base my business on, all of the decisions that I make as far as what I get involved with, who I get involved with when it comes to partnerships, etc., have to be married to and aligned with my core values. So if you don't really know and haven't taken the time to examine what those are for you, it's going to be much more difficult for you to figure out when to make those choices as far as speaking engagements. If someone asks you to speak at a certain place or about a certain topic, it's going to be more difficult for you to choose what your next product or program will be. So you really want to examine and get clear on what is it that I truly believe in and that everything else will rotate around. What makes you unique and what are you passionate about? What would you do if you could do it for free every day? Every day. So that is point one. And I wanted to share that with you. And let me ask you in the comments here on Facebook, if there's something that you already know is a core value for you, if there's something that's central to your way of being, living, and working, write it in the comments. I want to see. I'm going to read some of these comments. All right. And I see that someone loves dark chocolate like I do. I see someone loves milk chocolate, but dark is better for us. Yes, I hear that dark chocolate is healthier, but I won't rub that in my children's face because they don't care. They just care about the taste. All right. Faith. So faith is a central core value for you, Miss Johnson. That's right. Okay. So faith. Whatever other values you might have, keep writing them there in the comments and I'll come back and look at that too. Awesomeness. Keeping it real. Okay, so authenticity, Miss Donna Stewart. Keeping it real and being authentic and true to yourself. Absolutely. See, these are core values. So as you know, as you really explore and examine what's important to you and what's at the center of who you are and who you're becoming as a business owner, then you also then are able to examine again those decisions about your business and where you participate and where you thrive. Those are places that you can examine against. Okay, so let's dive into number 2. And number 2 is, let's get there. I had a few too many clicks there. Research to understand your customers' needs, motivations, pain points, and buying triggers. So do your research. I guess if I had to put that in a nutshell, tip number 2 is to do your research. If you want to find your flavor, do your homework. Find out what the customer needs, what their motivations are, their pain points, and what triggers them to buy. And in addition to the data that you're collecting through just your regular interactions, you can also conduct surveys. So you can do surveys through email, or you can do surveys on your social media feeds using polls. You can even install website pop-up questions on your WordPress blog. You can look at blog and social media comments. You can examine client testimonials. If you've had former clients that you've worked with, what are their testimonials? What are they telling you that they really want and need from you? What are some of the compliments that you've been given about the topics that you speak on? And as you identify all of these different things, these different pieces of the puzzle, and understand your customer more and your follower more if they're not yet a customer, then that gives you an opportunity to really create a clear persona. And so let me explain for a few minutes what a persona is. A persona is kind of like I won't say it's an imaginary, because it's a real person, but it's a representation. It's like a model that you're creating of the ideal person you want to work with. And so when you're thinking in terms of your persona, oftentimes what I'll do with my clients that I coach with is work with them on creating an actual visual image of who their ideal client is, what they look like, the age, do they have kids or not, are they married or not, what are all of their demographics that would be important for you to know, so that you can sit there and kind of have that picture in front of you and speak to that persona and ask that persona questions and listen for the responses as you're creating your marketing materials and as you're creating your social media content. So really do your homework and understand who your audience is. Who is the typical follower for you on social media? Because that will help you to answer different questions in terms of what to post. Earlier, I was actually talking to a group of folks from ICF in Tennessee, and one of the questions was, well, you know, Tanya, you market about social media, so we think that's easy, but I don't know what I would share on social media as a coach. Well, that was a blessing in disguise. I love that question, because it doesn't matter what your expert topic is. There's some content that you can share. There's some value you're adding. There's some solution to a potential problem or challenge that people have that you're offering. So your goal as a social media marketer, as someone who is marketing yourself and your services on social media, is to identify, how can I send teasers and share information that people can use, even if it's the only point they ever see from me. So you're breaking that down into snack-sized bites, which is what I always talk about, right? So that's tip number 2, is to research so that you understand your customers' needs, motivation, pain points, and buying triggers. So you're finding your flavor. This is part of that flavor that you're going to be using to create a dynamic and powerful social media brand. All right. So we're going to head into the 3rd and final tip. And this tip I really want you to take some notes on, because I wonder if I put it on here. I think I did. I'll check in just a second. But tip number 3 is to create your personal flavor statement. And if I have not written this out in the slides, then I will make sure that I share it with you in the description here on the Facebook Live video, because this is kind of important. And this is a flavor statement that I teach my clients to use, and I'm sharing it with you now right here on Facebook Live. But the idea is that you're really thinking about how you can express your uniqueness, how you can express the problem that you solve or that you help people to solve through your services and your products and your programs. And so the flavor statement is like the one-liner that you can use with your friends who have no idea what you do. Or you can use it with your business colleagues that you meet in a conference. Or you can use it with that CEO or CFO or CMO that you meet in an elevator, because it's your ticket to opening the door to a potential relationship. So I'm going to see if I have this actually right now. I think I added it to the slides, and if I did not, no, I did not. I'm going to share it with you live right now, okay? So what I may do is switch over to another screen here in just a second, but I'm going to read it to you first. I want you to write this down, and then also you have an opportunity to go and download the worksheet that goes along with our program. So the next couple of series, or the next couple of episodes that we'll do, all of this is inside of a worksheet we call the Spice Worksheet, which you can download at tanyasmithonline.com/spicy brand sheet. Spicy brand sheet. Okay, so here is the actual formula. This is going to be the formula for your flavor statement. And if someone is so inclined, you're more than welcome to type it into the comments for me, but I'll make sure I go back and do that afterwards since I forgot to do it. Eek. So the sample, or the formula, is this. In fact, let me do this. I'm going to share my screen with you because I need to blow this up and actually show it to you. I don't think it will read very well. Let's zoom in first. All right, I'm going to zoom in really big and bright, and then I'm going to find the correct window to showcase with you because I really want you to see this. I think it's kind of powerful. All right, let's see. Switcheroo. There we go. Okay, so you should be able to see my screen, and right here I have a blurb that is the formula. It's the flavor statement. So it says, using X approach. So using the approach, I teach, help, show, and then there's your target audience, struggling with whatever their biggest challenge is, how to, and then you enter your outcome or benefit. And I'm going to show you an example in just a few seconds as to how this can look. So using such and such approach, I teach, help, or show whoever your target audience is that are struggling with whatever their biggest challenge or pain point is, how to get a certain outcome or benefit. Okay, so if your flavor statement looks like that, if that's the formula, let me show you some examples of what that can look like. And these are real life examples that I worked with different people on. So one is, the approach is that this person has a 6-step system that takes women who are struggling with life after divorce to boosting their self-worth and enjoying life again in 90 days or less. So now can you see the formula at work? I wish I could show both at the same time. Maybe I can. Let's see if we can get it all in there. Look at the above formula, flavor statement at the top. There's a formula. And then look at the highlighted box on the bottom. I have a 6-step system. So there's their approach that takes women who are struggling with life after divorce to boosting their self-worth and enjoying life again in 90 days or less. So the approach is the 6-step system. The target audience is women who are struggling with life after divorce. The biggest challenge is they're challenging with their self-worth and with enjoying life. And the outcome or benefit is that they're now going to enjoy life again in 90 days or less. So it's even time specific, which is awesome. I love anything that's time specific, and most people do. Let me give you another couple of examples here. Here's 2 more. So these 2 are, I help small business owners struggling with overwhelm to feeling well prepared and energized about their business by developing a jumpstart plan in 90 days or less. And then this last one is, I train women over 50 who are struggling with their hormones how to choose a healthy lifestyle through diet and exercise so they stop gaining weight and eliminate hot flashes to feel 10 years younger. Amen. Oh, but anyway, I just wanted to share those with you so that you could really kind of see some examples of the flavor statement in action, because that is going to be really key to helping you find your flavor. So you find your flavor and then you use that statement wherever you go. If you're at a networking event, if you're speaking to someone who is inquiring about your services, if you're speaking to someone who's looking to book you for a speaking engagement, there's all kinds of opportunities that you can use that flavor statement with. And again, this is about your personal brand and how you use it and how you're reflecting who you are on social media and in any online marketing space. And frankly, you can use the flavor statement just about anywhere. So offline too. But I hope that that formula you found useful. And I'm going to double check and see. Let's see what kind of comments we have coming in on that. So if you want to practice writing your flavor statement, then what I'm going to encourage you to do is when you watch the replay, I'll try to identify exactly the point in this video where we shared it. So you can go back and write that down, or you can see it in the description. And I want you to practice and add your own flavor statement right here in the comments. Okay? And I'll read it and I will give you some feedback, whether you're watching live or you're looking at the replay. I'll give you some feedback on it. And other people that are watching and reading through the comments can give feedback too. So it's a stretch exercise for you. All right, so those are our 3 tips. Those are our 3 tips for you for this evening on finding your flavor. And let me kind of cover them really briefly again so that you know what we talked about today. So we talked about finding your flavor, and so we talked about the idea of getting clear first on your knowledge, your core values, and what makes you unique. We also talked about doing your homework or doing your research on your customer so that you can create a brand persona or a representation, a model of your ideal client. And then we talked about writing your flavor statement, and I gave you the formula for that. So come back next week and we're going to be talking about the very next topic in our series at this same time on Monday night. So that's 7 p.m. Eastern time. And I want you to go right now and download the SPICE worksheet. So if you haven't downloaded the SPICE worksheet, be sure that you go and do that. And let me go ahead and put the address up here one more quick time for you so that you know where to find it. But it's at tanyasmithonline.com and it is at Spicy Brand Sheet. So take a look here. We're on Facebook Live next Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern. And then I'm going to share with you really quickly here where you can find that Spicy Brand Sheet. Well, it just disappeared, but it's tanyasmithonline.com/Spicy Brand Sheet. So download that so that you can follow along with me as we're going through our training series on social media branding. So I hope you found this to be fun. If there was a light bulb moment for you, please feel free to share it in the comments and let me know. Is there something that triggered for you that you went, oh, why hadn't I thought of that? If so, give me some hearts, some high fives, some emoji love, and let me know what you think. Because I need to hear from you so that I know if I need to continue the series or to stop the series. I'm really paying attention these days to the feedback that I hear from you, because it's not worth the time putting together this content, which I think is awesome. Okay, that dark chocolate, right? And if you, as my followers and friends and fans, don't love it, then I need to do something else. I need to take a different path, still falling in line with those things that I love and I'm passionate about and I find valuable. But we have to pay attention to what our customers and our followers' needs and wants are, as we talked about in tip 2. So I hope you have an amazing evening. Great. Thank you so much, Valerie. Thank you, Melty. Thank you so much for your comments. Thank you, Donna. It's good to know that it's very helpful and useful, and I'm super happy that you came and that you were here live with me. For those that are watching the replay, again, leave your comments as well. If any of you have questions, feel free to leave those here in the box in the comments, and I will answer them, whether we do that in the next couple of seconds or if we do it later. But you will get an answer because I read every single comment. Alrighty, guys. I don't see anything so far, but I know there's a little slight delay. I'm going to go ahead and get ready to wrap up. But I hope you have an amazing rest of the week, and I will see you on next Monday for how to spice up your brand on social media. Take care.